He was around 3 years old, and he actually came back from holiday. He was on holiday in Cape Town, and we thought he had an allergic reaction because he just swelled up. It looked like he was stung by a bee. I think he gained like 3 or 4 kilograms within a few hours, and they did various tests on him, only to find out that he has a chronic disease called nephrotic syndrome that affects his kidneys. So his kidneys doesn't function as they need to. And since then he's been for biopsies to see whether what can be done. And all you're hoping for is there a cure? And when you get to deal with the realization that there is no cure, then you kind of start to make peace with the fact that, this is going to be something that you're going to have to deal with for the rest of your life, or as long as your child has that disease. And so for the last 4 years he's been on chronic medication. So all of that is it's an expense that you don't budget for something like that ever happening. So I think you adjust, your life adjusts how to deal with it, because he needs to take certain medication in the mornings, in the evenings. He needs to be tested every other day. His diet needs to be a specific diet. But we also try and make sure that he doesn't feel different. So because of what he has, the nephrotic syndrome he has, he's got a compromised immune system. So he understands, there's certain things he can't do. I mean, at that age now, he's turning 7, so I'm his hero, and you want to share things with your son that that maybe your father shared with you.
Yeah.
And it's difficult because he was born in the same year my father passed away. So my father never got to meet him, and he never got to meet my father. So I always tell him about my father and what my father did. And funny enough, he was born in the same month my father was born as well. which is kind of ironic, but they never got to meet each other. But like I said, you learn to deal with it, and makes you a stronger parent. You want to overprotect him. You don't want him to do certain things, which is actually the wrong thing, and it creates that fear within your child as well, that something is wrong with him. And that is what you kind of didn't want to do. But that's what you, as a parent, because you're protective, that's what you automatically do. So for example, now with this whole COVID thing, right, it makes it even worse. So for instance, a change in my life now, when the whole lockdown happened, for that first 6 weeks of the lockdown, I couldn't see him. Because I'm an essential worker, I work in an environment, in the pharmaceutical business, where I interact with people the whole day. And then when the lockdown, the regulations eased a bit, even though I got to see him, I was scared to hug him because I was scared I'm going to make him sick, and because of his immune system, it's so difficult for the parents to deal with. You have sleepless nights, you always wonder, will he be okay, will it get worse? Because if it gets worse, will he need to get a kidney transplant? Will there be somebody that can give him a transplant? The best thing you can hope for is, as he gets older, there is cases where they grow out of it, but there's also cases where the kids grow up to be adults and they just live with it for the rest of their lives. The message I would want to give him is, he should hang in there. I'm positive things will get better for him, and he should just be who he is. He's my hero to a degree, because he's the one that has to deal with his disability to a certain degree, calling it a disability. He's the one who's got to take all the medication every day, that's got to go for the checkups, got to go for the blood tests. So he's my hero in the way he deals with it. And then to reach for a dream, I want to say thank you. Because if it wasn't for them, what they've done for him and what they do for so many other kids, we really appreciate it. It gives hope to the kids that there's an organization out there that cares about them and that's trying to make them happy. And we really appreciate that.